The conflict in Sudan is not showing any signs of abating, and there are concerns it could spill over to the Sudanese border. These worries have prompted many countries to launch an evacuation of their citizens, and India has done the same. New Delhi's Operation Kaveri has already departed with the first batch from Sudan of about 278 people who have boarded, and they are now heading towards Jeddah. Earlier, the Foreign Minister Jaishankar had announced the operation. It is just not the ships but also aircrafts that are being used to evacuate people, two of which are stationed on standby in Jeddah. Around 3,000 Indian nationals were stranded in total when the clashes first broke out in Sudan. The French and the Saudi Arabian teams have also helped in rescue operations. The situation has taken a toll on foreigners. While living amid constant fire and airstrikes is a battle in itself, the journey to reach the point of evacuation has been anything but easy. The map on your screens shows the distance from Khartoum, the capital city, to Port Sudan. One has to find their way to this port to be evacuated through sea, and this journey is 842 kilometers long. It is an all-out battle for control of Sudan. The Sudanese army and the paramilitary are at loggerheads. These groups are led by men who once used to be allies, but today they are locked in a power struggle. The WHO says at least 420 people have died and 3,700 more have been injured. Siddhan Sibbal, our diplomatic correspondent, is joining us live from New Delhi for the very latest on this. And Siddhan, what's the latest in terms of the evacuation process and number of people possibly still stuck?
Well, as of now, the evacuation process is underway. It's live even as we speak. The first Indian Navy ship, INS Sumedha, has left Port Sudan to Jeddah with approximately over 250 Indian nationals. Now, India is sending more Indian Navy ships to Port Sudan to bring more of its nationals. We also know that there are Indian Air Force planes stationed in Jeddah, from where these nationals will be brought to India. But the big worry remains when it comes to the Indians in Khartoum. Now, in a positive development, ceasefire has been announced, a 72-hour long ceasefire, which can help in evacuation of the Indian nationals by road from Khartoum to Port Sudan, and that can make sure that there are more evacuations. Remember, there are 3,000 Indians who need to be evacuated. 500 of them are already in Port Sudan, some of them who have been evacuated. We do expect more announcements by the MEA, but remember, it was last week when the Sudanese ambassador to Delhi spoke to WION in his first conversation and said that the Indian government has formally handed over the request for evacuation, and that was something that was under process. And this week we are seeing the actual implementation of the entire conversation or mechanism that India had devised for evacuation of its nationals. India has an experience of evacuation of its nationals. Just last year, India evacuated almost 20,000 of its nationals from Ukraine amidst the conflict that happened in Europe, and this year it's Sudan that is the top priority of the Indian government.
All right, Siddhan, thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest there. We will keep coming back to you for more.